developed my beliefs while sitting under a tree by a small pond near my home. It took about 2 years of me telling people about this revelation I had before someone responded with, "Oh, you're pagan." Which was both a bummer and a blessing. A bummer that I hadn't discovered this truth, but a blessing that other people already knew about this amazing and enlightening fact of life. I've been calling myself a pagan for quite a while now, but I've seen that the term is just too broad, especially when looking for like-minded people. This is an attempt at defining my beliefs and practices, which I call synergistic Celtic shaman druid with Native American tendencies. The tenets, or core ideas, are the source of all things, an interconnected existence, reincarnation, magic, and the wheel of the year. Paganism is defined as a religion other than one of the main world religions, specifically a non-Christian or pre-Christian religion. Also, a modern religious movement incorporating beliefs or practices from outside the main world religions, especially nature worship. As in, modern paganism includes a respect for Mother Earth. The first definition of paganism is most accurate: anything but a Judeo-Christian faith. What I think of is the second, an earth-based faith that includes a reverence for nature. I expect another pagan to have some basically similar core beliefs. Nature is important, animals are sentient, etc. However, this is not often the case. My faith is diametrically opposed to the modern conservative trumpery. But many who call themselves pagan are conservative. So many are very much not like-minded. This has caused many social groups to collapse, as the expectation of like-mindedness has been found to be untrue, creating a sense of betrayal and loss. What I call my beliefs has many parts. Synergistic is something I came up with to notate the idea of there is one source of all things, and all things are the source. The Celtic part is to denote that while my heritage is diverse, the lineage of Scottish and Irish is the part that calls to my soul the most. The shaman part is telling that I feel the call to be a healer by traveling into the spirit world to bring back solutions and fixes. Druid denotes, to me, a dedication to truth and knowledge always, as well as fairness and service to the community. And finally, the Native American tendencies pays homage to my Choctaw heritage and similar, from what I understand, beliefs about nature and our place in it, as well as spirits of the land. So, why one source of all things? Well, just look around you at the patterns that are repeated. From the smallest we have been able to see so far, the atom, with its nucleus, protons, and electrons, to the cells of our bodies, to our solar system, and beyond, all repeating the same pattern of circles and cycles. As above, so below. Not as a reference to heaven and hell, but to atoms and the universe, small to immense. Atoms make up everything. Cells make up our bodies make up our families, our societies, and we are just another part of nature. We are a part of the gods, and those gods are a part of even bigger beings, and so on. So the source is all things, and there is nothing that is not a part of the source. Just like the cells in our bodies, we are also just as interconnected to each other and our surroundings, the plants and animals around us, the world we live in. We breathe in what the trees exhale and exhale what the trees inhale. Even our own bodies are made up of things other than ourselves. It has been discovered that trees in a forest communicate using a mycelium network. And just like those communities, we too can develop such connections, not just with each other or trees, but with everything. We are all, everything from the tiniest microbe to the biggest trees, connected to each other, whether we realize it or not. Whether we utilize this connection, acknowledge or ignore it, it is still present. The interconnection is based on the fact that energy is everywhere. I believe that our consciousness is fueled by this energy, embodied in what many call the soul. A soul, based on the law of energy, which cannot be destroyed, is eternal. So the idea of one trip through this life and an eternity of otherness seems odd. I believe that we existed before being born here, that we choose to incarnate and have this experience. Once this life is done, I think we'll want to rest, recoup, and then eventually return. Here or into some other physical existence somewhere else in this vast universe, another planet even. Incarnation, I feel, is not limited to human, but can be anything that exists. Why not incarnate as a tree, bird, predator, prey, kraken? The possibilities are endless. But the fact that I may choose to come back here after I have left is a very good reason to try to make this place better than I found it, so that my next visit will be better than this one, no matter how I choose to experience next go around. Magic, spelled with a K to differentiate from stage illusion, is a way of utilizing this connection between all things to make things work better. It's not anything like fantasy magic, no casting fireball or chain lightning here. For me, it is more about making subtle changes and favorable outcomes by utilizing the interconnection of all things through ritual, words, intent, motion, and prayer. No matter how you go about it, praying to a god, invoking with a ritual, sheer force of will and intent, we influence our surroundings and call it magic. Through all this, the pattern that we call the wheel of the year is present and applicable. Whether it is the seasons, a life, or the course of nature, the cycle of the wheel shows us how things progress. Winter is the dark season, a time of reflection, death, incubation, and preparation. Spring is the season of birth, a time of growth and energy. Summer is a season of maturity, implementation, the work of life. Fall is the season of harvest, the completion, death, and rest. The Celtic New Year is Samhain, the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter, as all things begin in darkness. Like a life beginning in the womb, so too does the cycle of the year. We celebrate the quarters mentioned before, as well as the cross quarters, which are Sabbats and Esbats, as our holidays. Starting with Yule in the middle, solstice of winter, Imbolc, Ostera, Beltane, Litha, Lunasa, Mabon, and Samhain. E pluribus unum, from many there is but one. We are all interconnected and interdependent. We reincarnate, there's magic afoot, and it follows the same cycles, from the smartest particle to infinity. These ideas must lead to a spiritual approach to life. Everyone, every animal, everything in nature, our planet. I don't believe that one can separate spirituality from politics. So when seeking a like-minded group, one who shares these basic tenets outlined here, or at least very close to them, the term pagan is just too broad. I am a synergistic Celtic shaman druid with Native American tendencies.
I am the one true God. Don't worry,